talking about going through the trenches, talking about 90s hip hop, 80s influence, and like all the way up to where we're at 2000. We got the legendary Mr. Lil One in the building. What's up?
What's going down? What's going down?
Mr. Uno.
Hey man, I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you for having me.
Hey.
I'm very grateful to be here. Appreciate
Man.
you guys.
How long have you been in the game, man? How many years? And we're talking about, because I know you started making music as a teen.
Yeah.
You were making music as a child. Were you even a teenager when you were making?
I was 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, doing neighborhood raps.
Yeah, man.
You know,
hey, that's true.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know what the severity what I was saying.
You were just.
I was just rocking with it.
Hey, man. It's. Do you remember some of your first raps? What they were about? Was it speaking about the neighborhood? Was it neighborhood based, or was it like what your surroundings were?
Well, I know it all started with one of the OGs from the neighborhood that I grew up in, in Sherman, Southeast San Diego.
Okay.
His name was Clown. Shout out to OG Clown from Sherman. We used to rock the instrumentals, the B-sides to all the 12-inch records.
Yeah.
So he actually wrote me like a neighborhood rap, because every time I'd see him, I'd call him out. I'd be like, I want to rap against you. So one day he's like, hey, look, calm down. Why don't you go practice this? And when you're ready, I'm gonna take you. So we would go to the DJ's crib. He threw on the instrumental, gave me the mic, and it went, all you party people don't know who I am. My name is Lil One from the Sherman gang. This is Lil One on the microphone. I'm gonna jam to the beat. I'm gonna give you some. And I used that for the opening intro on my album, The Requiem.
Yeah, that Requiem.
Yeah. So that's where it was all like officially born.
Man, hey, that was pretty dope. But he wrote that.
He wrote that. He wrote an entire whole, rap.
Yeah.
So I became hood famous.
Yeah.
The tape, got around.
That's what's
People
up.
were making copies of the tape.
Yeah.
So I was like, all the big homies will come and knock on the door when I was a kid and tell my mom, we need to borrow him for a little bit. And they take me to the house parties. And then I go, do the Sherman rap. And then they go back and drop me off. So this was in the summertime of 6th grade going into junior high. So by the time that I got into junior high, like every junior high school in San Diego knew who Lil One was.
Hey, that's crazy, man. 10 years old.
Yeah, so by the time that Mr. Lil One came out,
yeah,
like that same generation already knew that.
Wow.
So when Once in a Decade came out, they're like, oh, I remember this fool doing that.
Hey.
What
way back then.
instrumentals were you rocking back in the day?
Genius of Love.
Oh, okay. Tom Tom Club.
Yeah, The Message.
The Message.
This guy's
that's a banger.
our music historian.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Time Mix
He
Social
knows.
Club.
Oh, yeah.
He cuts it down to the studio that they recorded
he
in.
did a recent release, a collaboration with a similar track on the Rumors. I heard
Yeah,
that.
shout out to my brother Malo Mac. Shout out to my dog Joffrey.
Yeah, I was hoping someone's gonna rock that.
Yeah, he did it.
Rumor
He
track.
did
Look at
that.
all these rumors.
Yeah, he did that. He sent me the record, and I sent him the verse, and
Yeah.
he's like, let's do the video. I said,
came
let's
out
do
clean,
it.
man. It
And
came out
he
clean.
pulled up, and we did that shit, man. It was a lot of fun, man. And respect to Malo Mac. He's a real motherfucker.
Yeah,
dog.
you stay fresh. You stay fresh, brother.
Appreciate it,
You stay
dog.
fresh, man. Even when you're the hip hop in the 90s, we grew up in the 90s. In the 90s, I think what separates us a lot is that we're so nonfiction. And that's a crazy part about it, because if somebody's spitting these rhymes, best believe there's something there's something to it, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that would be like hurting us, but that was our reality. We grew up in the same neighborhood.
Right.
We walk down the street, going to the liquor store, the little bodega, not bodega, but little market La Quindita. It was a song. And from the corner of my house down to the other corner across the street, it was a motherfucking song. A lot of times you were the soundtrack of that. You could find YouTube videos at neighborhoods. They make soundtrack. They make a movie out of your music.
You know what's crazy is, and all due reality, dog. Like that's all I grew up. Like I always talk to the magnitude of the things that I talk about, because everything is deep with me.
Yeah.
Like there was absolutely nothing shallow about my visions or my dreams or what I wanted to do with my life. Like it was always something that people thought was not possible.
It's crazy.
So for me, anybody that thought it wasn't possible, that was shallow.
Eso. You know?
You know what I'm saying? Like that was very shallow. So as I've gotten older and I speak about these things and people say, that fool, he thinks he's too deep or he's too deep. Nah, it's not that I'm deep. It's that you're too shallow. You know what I'm saying? So I was never afraid, dog, to get on a circle.
Yeah.
No matter what the color was and spit. It didn't matter to me because I never really saw any color to it. I never saw any race. I never saw any age. I never saw any time. I just felt music, the energy of music.
You became it.
And I became it because you have to remember, dog, like, it could be very dangerous. It could be very powerful, whatever energy it is that we retain. You know what I'm saying? If it's a negative energy and we retain it, then we project it.
Yep.
But if it's a powerful energy based on humility and evolution and we retain it, we project it too. You're
talking to a kid that was walking, 12 years old. And then I'm like, fuck. I'm like, shit, here we go, man. And here comes those energies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just different little energies that people were projecting.
Yeah.
It's a trip, man. And I'm learning so much of it. It's not just only the music, but who you open yourself out to be. Like on social media, this is free game, ladies and gentlemen, that you give out there. This is stuff right there that you might have to pay a psychologist for. Hey, you listen to Mr. Lil One, you're gonna get all that good energy, and fucking pay attention to that, ladies and gentlemen.
No, dog. Well, the reality, and like I like to take clips of where I go always because I always want to make sure that I stay in a space where I project good for you and good for you, because even you, like the story you were telling me about when we first saw each other.
Yeah.
Like every time I see your page, like you project good energy.
Oh yeah,
I like what you're doing.
Yeah,
I like where your energy's at. I like where your space is at. I like where your thought process is at, and I'm here because of that.
Hey man, I appreciate you. Thank you.
But don't forget, and this is very important that we do not forget. Like I was telling you a story about how I was always in trouble when I was in school.
Yeah.
And the reason that I was always in trouble when I was in school is because a person that's a psychologist or a psychotherapist or whatever you want to call it, they're just given a title, a name that identifies a title that puts them in a psychological space for you to believe that they are something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the only thing that is an actual fact is that we register data, right? But it's not a fact that what we register is a fact. So when we were in school, and I would tell the history teacher, like, hey, how do I know what you're saying is true? Like, how do I, dog, I got kicked out of catechism because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got kicked out of catechism
for asking the right questions.
For being like, how do I know what you're saying is true?
Yeah.
How do I know that? How do I know that what's written in that book is actually true? So again, dog, like, you got to remember how vulnerable we are when we are young.
Oh, yeah, man.
How vulnerable we are to these people in these leadership positions that we look at as flawless people. So what comes out of them, we just absorb.
Yeah,
it's dangerous.
It is.
I have a song that's on the upcoming album, and I touch on something of that nature. It's called 92701, and I was a welfare kid.
Me too.
Digging in the trash cans just to recycle cans. I didn't know any better. It was just me and my tata. I would go, hey, súbete allí, I got unos botes.
Yeah.
And then we would get the feria, and then I'd get my little side hustle.
Same.
And check this out, man. Who I am now, I grew, I was raised as best as possible, right? And that's what you taught me. We're going to get into that. Because I told it to Cook, sir. Giving it your best today and progressing and still giving it your best, it's going to be better than what you gave last week. And we're going to get into that. But I was already here as a kid. I was like, dude, I fucking hate jumping in the trash cans and getting these botes. But I was respecting my grandpa. And we would raise that money. And who I became now, when I pass by those trash cans, my in the hood, it takes me back. It
Right.
takes me back to that. I was like, fuck, not no disrespect to the hood. I didn't know any better.
No.
And there's people that's their beginning, and I see it's like it hasn't ended for me. But psychologically, mentally, I could still be there, but in a different spot.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Well, you got to remember, Dargan, that there is no psychological geographic.
Nah.
There isn't. We are meant to live with no walls and no doors and no ceilings and no floors. That's how you're free.
Who do you think I learned that from? Come on, Uno. Come on, man. I'm giving you your flowers, and I appreciate you driving over here, man, because of that. Because of that, and I want more people to tap into that, man. It's all the great energy, man.
And you know what? And I see that in you, though. Like, I see that in you. I didn't know nothing, that you seen any of my interviews or not. I didn't know that, but I see that in you, and I dig that.
Yeah, man.
And that's how we align.
Yeah, I think so, man.
That's how we align, and that's how we become, a symbiotic space.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we build mutualism.
Yeah.
Because we're on the same frequency. Like, if you're on outer space and you see another astronaut, you know how he got there.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So you were those that don't know how you grew up, your mom was there, right?
My mom was there. She passed away when I was 15.
15 years old. And from 10 years old rapping to 15 years old, how did you grow? Because I see you who I see right now, and I love it, man. I love the person that you are.
Thank
I
you.
listen to your music, and I think about, like, dude, how did he come up with these words? How did he come up with this dream, the boogeyman? I was like, come on, man. And I'm listening to these things, and I'm outer space. I'm dreaming. I'm in another galaxy in your music, and then I hear you speak. It's like fucking mind blowing. It's true. When not to go too deep, but when you were 15 years old, were you still the same person that you evolved to? It was just refining some tools, or how were you at 15?
Well, you have to remember, I was you're a younger version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't experienced the things that you've experienced in between when I was 15 and where I'm at now.
Mm.
So a lot of the things that were going to happen hadn't happened yet. Right?
Right.
So my childhood inside my house, I had everything I needed.
Yeah.
My mom gave me love. My mom gave me wisdom. My mom nurtured me. My mom taught me how to share. My mom taught me how to be kind. My mom taught me how to be compassionate. And she didn't just teach me that with her words. She taught me that with her actions. She taught me that with her behavior.
Mm-hmm.
She taught me that with her spirit. She didn't have to say anything. I would just watch her be all that. One of the things that was important for me to say, and I'll answer your question in depth right now. On Father's Day, when I was acknowledging my kids, was instead of me telling my kids how they should live, I'd rather them watch me, and so I could show them the way we're supposed to live.
Yeah.
Because that's greater than words.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I wasn't who I am now in the sense where I can project it verbally and with action, because I was too young.
Mm-hmm.
I was too young for people to actually pay attention, because you're surrounded in a world, not a world, you're surrounded in a jungle. You're surrounded in a cage. But it's not necessarily a materialistic one. It's a psychological one.
It is. It is.
I don't know if you ever heard of me say the analogy of an imaginary car can't crash with the physical car, because they're not on the same mental frequency. But an imaginary car can crash with another imaginary car.
Man.
Because they're on the same mental vibration, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything that I thought was real, and everything that I thought was leadership, and everything that I thought was what we were supposed to do was the opposite.
That's a trip, man. Your escapes, and it was when Tupac died for me. I got in trouble, and I have family in Tijuana, Colonia Obrera, And my mom said, "You know what, man? We're gonna take time out, man, because you're going down a slippery slope." And props to mom for grabbing me. And she says, "You're going with me to Tijuana." And
Right.
we catch the bus, the one right there on Main. And it wasn't. We took the bus, and all I had was the Machiavelli CD. That was the only. It was my brother's friend's CD. I said I grabbed that. And a
That's
bunch
when
of
it first
batteries.
came out.
When it just first came out.
So that was 96.
96.
96, like
Yeah.
November when they released it.
Right after he died.
Right after he died.
Yeah, he died in September, so
Yeah.
just a couple months later they released
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I
So
remember
Come with me.
Hail Mary.
Hail Mary, yeah.
Run quick, see what do we have here now?
Now,
Do you want to ride or die? I was
La,
like,
da, da, da,
that.
da, da.
I didn't even have to. He had to go to Virgin Records just to
to
listen
listen to it. And all I was there for like a couple weeks, but it was eye awakening. Like I was just right there sitting upstairs. And they have an outhouse todavía. Like you don't have a restroom in the house. You have to go down the
yeah.
steps, and then el pozo.
Yeah.
That's where you would have to use the restroom.
My dad lives there.
Oh, okay.
And so when I would go see him, he still lives like that.
Still, yes.
He's still
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
we-
happy like that.
Yeah. And that's what I had. But music, Tupac, the Machiavelli album was my escape.
Was your escape.
And when I came back, I figured out fucking paddy wagons.
My bad.
Paddy wagons covered the street and swooped a bunch of people up. That could have been me. And I was like, oh shit, I could have been with so and so and gotten swooped up. I could have been, and I was like music really pulled me away from it. My mom, props to mom. And then it gave me a different sense because I was listening to that Tupac album where he talks about white man's world, and then Against All Odds, and it kind of built me up.
Right.
And it was through music. Did you have anything of that nature when you were growing up? What was your musical outlet that you would lean on?
Let me say something about what you just said
Mm-hmm.
that I think should be acknowledged, and we have to give that respect to. Do you know that that's what Tupac wanted?
Yeah, that's crazy.
How many times do you hear him say, "I just want people to think"?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna seed.
And he did that.
Yeah, he did.
He did that for you.
I named my first son after that album.
There you go.
His name's Cesar after Cesar Chavez, and middle name is Machiavelliano after that.
So he was able to give you that.
Yeah.
Why? He was deceased,
And he was already
Physically.
dead. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say that I had one particular artist that gave me that type of escape, because at that time there weren't really a lot of hip hop artists that were on that
Mm-hmm.
level, because there wasn't that type of chaos in hip hop
Nah.
back then.
Nah.
Back then, hip hop was free. Run DMC and LL Cool J and Jam Master Jam and Curtis Blow weren't fucking talking about
What's going on in the streets?
like, yeah, I'm gonna smoke you when I see you, and really have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a whole different thing. Music was free. The worst that it got was like, we're gonna battle when we see each other.
The rap battle.
The rap battle.
Yeah.
But music, bro, like I just said this the other day. I don't know where I was doing an interview, but I always say that people are always running away from the present moment.
Mm.
Anytime that I was in art, anytime that I was in music, anytime that I was in anything that had anything to do with energy that comes from an organic, special place, I was in the present moment. So that's what we call an escape.
Yeah.
How is the present moment where we're supposed to be an escape? You know why? Because it's rare. We're always consumed in a place of fear that's either in the past or in the future that doesn't allow you to experience what you're supposed to experience in the right now. So when you do experience the right now, it's an escape. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's what it was. My reality, and I was always like trying to find an escape from this. 'Cause I promise you, man, I couldn't go out to go buy milk.
Bro, same here. Like, you know, bro, in my neighborhood where I grew up, that's what I was trying to tell you. Inside of my house, I had everything.
the
But as
peace
soon
of
as I
love,
stepped outside the house, growing up in the neighborhood, you have to learn how to be the lion and the fox.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to be barbaric, and you have to learn how to be fucking slick too.
What was that song? I think you posted it. How to Survive in South Central. Was it that one that you posted earlier today?
Yeah.
How to Survive in South Central. And that could have been anywhere.
Yeah,
San Diego.
you know, I have a big song, Vato Loco, coming out when my boy Finis off the Duo project, and we got cocaine. It's called Vato Loco, and it's crazy, bro.
I can't wait.
And the first line that I used, I said, "How to survive in Southeast." There you go.
Ooh,
that's what it says. Today I was in South Central, and that's why I did that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in all due reality, dog, like anytime that we look for any type of psychological escape, we're literally entering another psychological asylum, because an escape is never gonna give you freedom. If you look at an inmate that wants to escape so he can be free, when he escapes, he's still not free.
Nah, until it's right here, right?
I'd rather go through whatever the fuck I need to go through and walk out and be free. I'll be in a liberated space.
Yeah.
Because, dog, living under the microscope is envy and greed, and living under the telescope is love and purity.
Man, it's crazy, man. We definitely getting some wisdom right here, man. You put me on a book. What is it? The 4
agreements.
The 4 agreements, and when we're having this conversation, guess what's running through my head? That book.
4 agreements.
The 4 agreements. The first one, word. That word. I have a rhyme on Liberal Minded that says wordplay, gunplay, killing the same way. I'm a verbal assassin, strapped with an AK.
A verbal assassin.
Yeah, verbal assassin. There was that wordplay and gunplay, killing the same way, and this was towards us being sent to war. All right, you motherfuckers go do this. Wordplay and gunplay, and it's real, and a lot of times people unfortunately have to go to a different place to find that freedom, that space where that clarity, and it's driven because they're driven so much with toxic news and this and that, and they don't have that outlet. We always say, if we had the homies tell us, instead of go do this, what you're speaking of, this would probably be in a mansion, homie.
Well, look, dog, you said something. Look how insane.
Talk to me.
Humanity is. You just said, well, yeah, when you get sent to war.
Yeah.
Why does someone have the ability to send you to war?
The manipulation, man.
Right?
Yeah.
That's psychological trickery.
Mm-hmm.
That's barbaric, dominant, taking advantage of power.
Yeah.
High voltage is like high power. It can kill you or boost you in an instant. Think of what you feel like when you go near high voltage, like, oh shit, I better be careful. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people take advantage of that. But you said something else. The leaders in the neighborhood, instead of giving you a book, they were giving you a strap.
Yeah. Mission.
Instead of teaching you how to build, they were teaching you how to destroy.
Yeah.
Instead of inspiring you to stay in school, they're telling you to go to jail.
Yeah.
Instead of telling you to, learn how to be a respectful, kind human,
be a soldier.
They're teaching you how to be a ruthless animal.
I'm saying.
Now you got to remember. Now this goes back to the question that you asked me earlier when I was 15. When you're 15, you're young.
Yeah.
So for someone twice your age to be giving you that advice, what the fuck does that say about them?
Exactly, man. And we were running missions, brother. We were running missions.
Same here. Crazy. Like, I'm talking like the movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like,
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know. Trust me, bro. Trust me, man.
Fucking.
I'm saying
broad daylight, crazy shit.
It's
you know what
crazy.
I'm saying?
I did have a 2-block radius mindset, and I say that a lot. I say that like, fuck, man. And then it wasn't until I ended up getting a grant to go to Chico State, and my mom was sweating bricks. Ay, mijo, no te vayas, que me va a cuidar. Ay, mijo. I'm one of 5. I'm the middle child. Okay. But I was always the mama's boy. When need a translator, so I would always go with my mom.
Yeah.
And I thank her for that, because it helped me talk to ladies. You know what I mean? All my exes and all the ladies, their moms love me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, man, going out, I was like, oh shit, here we go again, man. Fuck, man. But it was a reality in the '90s. Us from being Orange County and me having family in Tijuana, I would always think about like the '90s. Like, fuck, I'm gonna go to San Diego. And when I was in high school, we would go to Rosarito for all the holidays. Rosarito, Señor Frogs.
Yeah.
was the big thing.
Yeah.
You know, and we would party with people from San Diego. And they would be like, hey man, boom, boom, boom. And I would always we had a couple artists from San Diego, Oceanside. Actually is where the homies from?
Ooh.
They're the two brothers that we had them on the show right here that always show love. They're from Oceanside. They sell the clothes. What's the area code over there?
In Oceanside?
Yeah.
760?
760 is it? The
858?
Suerte team.
Oh, they're from San Clemente.
San Clemente. I'm sorry, brother. I was thinking about we had a conversation with the artist from Oceanside. So they're from San Clemente.
They're the next thing next to San Diego.
And I never really partied over there until I was out of like college, and I would be in those crowds, man. How was the party scene for you guys over there? Would you stick to San Diego, or would you go to Tijuana, Rosarito? Would you hit up those places as a teenager in your early 20s?
Open a can of worms for.
Oh man, as an artist, I know he performed a whole gang over there.
I was, believe it or not, I was never into the party scene.
Really?
I might have went to,
As a rapper.
I went to TJ maybe twice.
No way.
Yeah, and partied at the clubs with Shadow.
Okay, shout out to Shadow.
Shout
man.
out to my brother Shadow.
Yeah.
You know, we went a couple of times, but outside of that, I was never really big into the party.
What about performing?
I wasn't. That too. But you got to remember, dog. Like there wasn't much of that in the jungle, dog. You know what I mean? We didn't really start doing like taking shows like serious till like a little bit later.
Yeah.
We were in the studio like crazy.
And just recording.
We were just that's why there was so many albums.
I'm so excited.
That was easy. Like Shadow came one day. I had just watched fucking Saved by the Bell. I heard the girls say that because she was
Shout out to Mario
drugs.
Lopez.
Yeah. And then I'm like, and then the beat came on. I'm like, I'm so excited. And then it just kind of happened. You know what I mean? But we were in the studio like crazy. We were recording.
Studio rats.
Me, Shadow, Night Owl. We were in this.
Rest in peace tonight.
Yeah, rest in peace to Big Bro.
Yeah.
We were in the studio like crazy.
Man.
You know, but and I would say the partying was like at our house.
Oh,
Like we
okay.
were in the living room, like drinking.
chilling.
You know, at that time drinking and Shadow was smoking.
Living out your rhymes then.
And we were just you know, Shadow would have his thesaurus, I had my thesaurus, and you know, we'd be like, I'm packing lead and giving headaches. I got more drugs than paramedics. Whatever, you know.
Street pharmacists, man. Street pharmacists. I love it, man. I love it. That's I always trip out on like us from being Orange County, and you know, I'm telling you, this 2-block radius, the mindset was really hurting us as juveniles because all we wanted to do was protect that hood. Protect that stuff. And I'm like, some of these people were renting, and you know, some of the people were homeowners, but that was their mom's house. And I'm like, damn, what the hell's going on? And we would talk about music, and we had a lot of OGs that would get mad that I would listen to hip hop, and they would tell me, you know, they'll be like, don't listen to that. They belittle women. They this, they that. They talk about us. All they want is our women. And it was a tension where say we're gonna tax you if you listen. And it was the actual Doggy Style album that I would love. I was fucking listening to Snoop Dogg, and it was actually my cousin. My cousin, fast forward to today, he's one of my biggest fans. Like he fucking roots for me. He sees me pull up because he's still in the house that I grew up in. And I, you know, go pick up moms and go take her out to eat, go whatever I need to do for moms, you know. And he was like, hey, primo. Hey, man, I saw this, I saw that. Oh, you was on stage? Oh, that's what's up. Boom. I'm like, fool, in fucking 94, you wanted to tax me. You know, like you wanted to tax me for listening to that. But he was in his
different
mindset.
space.
He was in a different space.
That's what I was just about to tell you. Like, you know.
Those times?
That's a different space.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's been some type of evolution in him to think in a different space. You know, I went through a lot of that.
Did you?
I went through a lot of that growing up. You know, not only just with the homies, but just with the, you know, with the culture, where I would hear, you know, that's for the blacks.
Yeah, yeah.
That's for the blacks. That's not for the.
They don't accept us. Why should we accept them?
You know,
that's what they was. You know.
And I'd be honestly, dog. I'd just be like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Like, no one is gonna stop me from what I was born to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look what we become.
I always say that, you know, God was playing some hip hop shit when he made me in the background. You know what I'm saying? So I was ready. When I went in the studio to record Once in a Decade, like the first song that I recorded was Enemies Falling. You know, the Vandal, the Mystic, coming in, gliding. I was ready. I was ready, dog. And, you know, I just believe that. Even when I hear people say, oh, damn, Uno, what man, you still, man. I'm like, still, like, you that never ends.
Never.
It never ends. You're an eternal artist.
We're in 2023, Uno, and you know how much you've inspired me from that moment that I opened up that, like, we saw each other and I was like, oh shit, guess what I did, man? I went through that wormhole. I know all the hits. I know your music, but I fucking love the person that you are. You know what I mean? Like that mind. I'm like, damn, dog. I was like, shit, hell yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, dog. And you know, you're an inspiring person too. You know, and don't stop that. Keep doing that.
Shit, man.
Keep doing that and keep evolving. You know, I always say, dog, like, the best thing about doing something is knowing that you did it. There's nothing greater in the world than earning your evolution. Why wouldn't we want to earn our evolution?
Yeah.
And we earn our evolution by being humble enough to be accepting that we are students, dog.
You want to know something?
We're students.
I started making. I love making music. I love writing. I love everything that comes with the music. But I started recording my music because I wanted to leave it for my son to listen in case something happened to me. Right. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah, that
Thinking
is
that
crazy.
I'm gonna get killed.
Yeah, no, I mean, dog, but I hear you. I mean, that's why you got to remember. That's why a lot of artists, you know, talk about their demise.
It's crazy.
You know, through their music. You know, I have my little baby son, Ocean, is 10 months old. Like, dog, I'm gonna pass away when I'm 100 and something years old. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna live to be past 100 years old.
Yeah, I've seen your body change, bro.
You know, I'm gonna continue to take care of myself. I'm gonna take care of my spirit. I'm gonna take care of everything that requires me to earn my evolution in every fashion and every sense of the word. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, any fucking thing that ends with a Lee. You know, so when I pass away at 100 and something years old, that'll just be the physical form. But my spirit will live forever, dog. And so will yours.
I'm touche to that, man. I love that. I love that. Real quick, man. You have multiple albums, and I know what I'm gonna ask you is not concrete, but I want you. I'm gonna say a word, and I want you to mention one album that relates to that. So, from your discography, what album brought you strength?
The Streets.
The Streets?
Yeah.
Okay. And then another one, which one gave you the wisdom that you get the most out of?
Decade 2.0.
Decade 2.0?
Yeah.
All right. Which one's the party one?
The Boogeyman.
You just did Boogeyman Part 2. I was banging that earlier.
That's old.
With OG Wicked?
Yeah. Shout out to OG Wicked. That's my brother. I love him.
But you put it on the DSPs.
That music was recorded a long time.
Yeah. I was listening to the Boogeyman too, and I was like, okay, OC to SD to OC. I was like, man, which one's I know they all gonna represent you, but which one's the one album be like, all right, I'm gonna learn who this guy is. Which
Decade
album?
2.0.
Decade 2.0. Yeah.
If I could tell anybody in my life, like, what album would I want you to listen to that is a representation of who I am, it's Decade 2.0.
Yeah. I named my project, the one I gave you, Undeniable. And I could have done all party records, Uno.
Yeah, of course you could have.
I could have done all like, hey, boom, 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 where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? You know?
Yeah, dog, you're past that now.
And well, this Undeniable, and I can't wait for you to listen to it. It is dropping 8/13.
Oh, okay.
It's dropping on I'm sorry, 8/11. 8/11. I got 8/13 as a Sunday. We have something special set up for that Sunday since we have Sunday school show. But 8/11.
So 8/13, you guys are gonna be here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna extend the invitation. Me and Shadow and Miss Crazy and Dominator, we're gonna be in San Jacinto,
San Jacinto,
where I saw you
on that weekend or
that Sunday.
oh, all right.
So if you want to come
Yeah.
and do your thing, come out.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Oh man, we gotta see. We gotta
It's
see.
all good. It's all good. It's all good.
8/13, man. We'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll
right,
talk
no
about
doubt.
that. Just that it is dropping on 8/11.
Congratulations, brother.
No, I appreciate it. It's a like what you said. It's a long time coming, but it took my whole life to this point to get to that. And
Yeah.
it's the beginning of this. It's not the end of that, but it's the beginning of everything that's gonna come after that.
And that's beautiful that you
Yeah.
see it like that. You
I
know,
know.
what I think my woman asked me the other day. She said, give me two representations of what you think death represents.
Ah, cabrón.
Right? And I said, well, one means that it's the end of your physical flesh.
Yeah, actual death. Yeah.
And the second one, it's your rebirth. It's where it's like you just said,
Yeah.
it's the beginning
Yeah.
of everything else.
Yeah.
You know?
Ah, man, that's that seed. That's that seed, man. And we do give a lot of props to our legends, and you are one of them, man. And in hip hop, I really want us more on corporate radio. You know, I want us to be seen on that in a different light because your music is actually movies. Your songs that you have, somebody could get your album and make a movie out of it. Obviously, because it's real life. You know, like different stuff, your dreams. Any scripts, anything that you're gonna head towards that?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
We'll
I'm just
talk about
saying.
that. We'll
Come
talk
on,
about
man.
that when it's time.
I'm telling you,
There's a huge plan in motion.
I want to make sure we get some bomb publishing and we definitely get it out there because
And besides the film aspect of it, just remember I told you about the song Vato Loco. Like in less
gotta
than a
bring it
month,
here.
6 weeks, the whole culture is gonna go berserk.
Man.
Like I promise you. This is like something crazy, bro.
Can we get on the remix?
You know what I'm saying? You know, matter of fact, like Shadow sent me his verse just a little bit too late because
okay.
it's already, the song's already serviced. Like the plan is in motion already.
Yeah, it's already.
You know, but I'm gonna put Shadow's verse on the remix.
Hell yeah.
And I'll say this. You're about to witness something that's never happened before in the culture. And it's going to close the gap that's been open for a long time. And not only is the music going to represent that, but the visual is going to represent that. And from the music to the visual, there will be tours.
Man.
And there's going to be a lot. Just remember, Vato Loco.
Vato Loco, man. I love it, man. Shouts out to OG Cocaine, man. My boys are over there in Portland today. And I know for Pomona, and he's around different spots, so they bump Cocaine all up and down the coast, man.
Yeah, Cocaine is
it,
a
man.
savage.
Yeah, man, and he's been holding it down like we've been holding it down for the culture also.
Yeah.
So real quick, jumping into this, man, because I love it. I know we have you for a little bit of limited time.
No, it's all good.
Oh man, I want to jump back on real quick before we jump on this. Rest in peace, man. On Southern Cali Bounce, I jumped on a remix, and where my brother that we just spoke about him. So I'm thinking about so many things that unfortunately he had just passed away. You know, the daddy, I'm in love with a gangster. Daddy, I'm in love with a thug. Rest in peace to our brother. He was supposed to jump on the remix, and I think his health issues. But God got in the way of things, and we didn't get him. Like the producer told me, hey man, we're thinking of getting this person. We're getting, and just like I'm thinking about all the other artists they reached out to, and it was just one of those things. And how do you keep your body healthy, yourself?
How do I keep my body
Yes,
healthy?
yes,
Well, I say this all the time.
yeah, man.
I do the same thing no matter where I'm at. I wake up, I take a shower, I do literature for an hour, I train for an hour, hour and a half, and then I eat. And then I start my day. So that way by the time that I start my actual day, I already fed my mind, my body, and my spirit. So, traveling a lot, puts a barrier and a challenge on you doing that.
Yeah, being able to do.
So I got to take my
like that.
books and my bag. If there's no gym, then push-up time, leg raises, jog. I've been traveling with my family, so I have my little baby. You know what I mean? And so it becomes a little bit difficult, but I don't stop. I don't stop. Again, sometimes it's
a tough balance.
It is, but not only like, look, dog, when I first started like going to the gym and like training, it started off with like, I want to look right. When I started feeling right, looking right was secondary.
Yeah.
That was just a bonus.
Yeah.
But when you feel good and
The
you're in endorphin city.
Yeah, come on, man. I tell you, we're twins.
You know what I'm saying, dog? You're already feeling those endorphins and you feel good and your energy's organic.
Yeah.
And then, dog, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. You already ate good. You already read. You already trained. You going home to take a shower, dog, and have some chicken and some rice and some avocado with some water, dog. And it's 9 o'clock and your boy's waking up with a 40.
Has that elevated your rhymes? I know progression of hip hop. You're lyrical, homie. I don't care what anybody says, man. Oh, Chicano's this, Chicano's that. I'm like, dog, you know, when I listen to your music, I got a playlist with you. I got a playlist with Sick Jackin', you know. We were talking about Mr. Night Owl on the remix that he was gonna jump on. He's on there, and then it's a different type of playlist than your radio playlist. How have your rhymes evolved with your physic?
I would say that my rhymes have evolved as I've evolved.
Hey, yeah.
My rhymes follow me.
It's the truth.
Because remember, the rhyme is secondary. Your spirit is first. So it comes from your spirit, then it goes to the rhyme, then it goes to the world.
Yeah.
Right? So where you're at with your spirit is actually the key factor.
Oh shit. Are we growing together, Mr. Little One?
We are absolutely 1,000,000% growing.
I'm saying,
together.
dog.
So that's how you evolve. You know, so even a year from now, your evolution will be at a higher place because you're gonna earn it. Like, you won't grow if you don't earn it. We cannot cheat our growth. We could cheat taxes, you could cheat whatever you want, but you can never in your life escape the freedom of growth.
Man.
You can't.
You can't.
Like, dog, the only thing about, like, you can't act or pretend to be humble. You can only genuinely be humble.
Man.
Don't say it, homie.
Brother.
Like that's the truth. Dog, that's what I'm saying.
Man.
Like,
yeah.
you look, the only thing that survives, dog, is what's real. Anything that is real can never be threatened. And you have to be accepting with the courage of a warrior and the skill of an artist that what you want is truth in your life.
It's a fact.
and that's what I'm saying, dog, but it's still a spiritual war.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual war because of all the data and all the trauma that we have for decades. So, you know, there's demons on top of demons. We have demons that have demons.
Man.
Coming out and being like, no. You're like, nah, dude, you're not going to fuck with me. And then they're like, okay. And then they go get a bigger demon. Let me come. Nah. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you can smack this one around, but this one's a bigger challenge. But in reality, the only thing that creates a challenge, dog, is you making yourself available for it.
Man, it's hard for people to be in a relationship with me because of shit like that.
Yeah,
'Cause
but dog,
sometimes they're not ready for that.
But that's
bro.
what I'm saying. But dog, it's not that.
And I'm not
it's
talking
hard.
about female relationships. I'm talking about people.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
bro. Like,
they-
I'm gonna have to
they
clip
think-
this out because this is truth. And
They think we're arrogant.
I'm gonna tell
Trust
you
me,
right now.
Cookie.
I'm
I'm talking to people and they're like this. They're like, "¿Tú qué, güey?"
Look,
You know?
I seen the clips you do here, so I hope we get some dope ass ones too.
Oh man, my brother Caesar,
yeah,
he's the one.
Caesar, this is good. Now look, dog.
Let's get it.
You remember what I told you earlier that
Mm-hmm.
if your objective is to be free, that's like being in outer space, right?
Yeah.
All right. So if you see another astronaut,
Mm-hmm.
then you know what he went through because he's in outer space with you.
To get there. Yep.
So you're both free,
Yeah.
right? Now you have to remember because we live in this planet, we have to deal with everything that comes with this planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because somebody is physically fit does not mean they're not emotionally obese.
Oof.
Just because somebody is monetarily, rich does not mean that they don't have inner poverty.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, dog? But people get fooled by it.
Yep.
People go to Dubai and stay for a year and stay in a $35 hotel, take a cab to downtown, find somebody's fucking Lamborghini, take a picture in front of it, post it, and now you're somebody.
That's it.
But it's all based on facade.
It's facade.
It's all based on a lie. Now, if you're comfortable with living in a facade, what does that say about you?
And that's all it is.
So like you said about your relationships, I don't have many friends.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I've lost many.
Flossie's one of my best friends. Shadow's my best friend. Fitness is my best. Diggy, and outside of that, that's it. Those are my closest people outside of my kids, my woman. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I stay in a space where I'm not in striking distance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'm not gonna put myself in striking distance. You will know in a matter of seconds, in a minute, dog, if you're gonna be able to vibrate and correlate and chill and conversate with somebody or not.
Yeah.
The moment that somebody's like, "Hey, who do you think that?" Cool, dog. Like this, you're still in the circus.
And you recognize that.
I've said this a million times, and I'm never gonna stop saying this, dog. We are living in the planet of the unconscious. There are people walking around every single day with their eyes wide open that are unconscious. The only difference between somebody that is conscious and somebody that's alert is being alert's no different than a dog. You just learn how to survive. We're not meant to survive. We're meant to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're conscious, you self-expand.
Yeah.
And you learn about self-love and self-nurturing yourself and self-respect. And then you project on someone else.
Yeah.
Right? And then
you're seeing it right here.
And that's what I'm saying, dog. Like, you give to the world gives back to you. If there was frequency and a negative frequency, it would be felt.
Yeah.
There's positive energy here.
Yeah.
And when I leave, it's gonna stay here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
hell
take
yeah.
yours,
Yeah.
and you're gonna keep mine.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's how the fuck this works.
There's so many people, Uno, that don't see that they think that since they're in alpha, they shouldn't listen. But being an alpha, you have to listen. You have to be able to open your ears and understand. I'm in a room full of other leaders, and just because they're other leaders and I'm taking their, I'm observing them and I'm learning from them, it doesn't make me any less of who I am.
Dog,
right?
but you have to remember the whole stigma and the whole identification of what an alpha is. We don't have to be this barbaric conquistador. I'm a conquistador. And
That's a circus.
dog, like, look,
Yeah.
dog, I'd probably let anybody say whatever they want to say. I don't care. It'd be very, very difficult for somebody to strike a nerve with me, dog.
Wow.
I
yeah.
care less.
That's good, man.
I'm
That's good.
indifferent to people's opinion, dog. I don't give a fuck. Not because I'm arrogant or because I'm ignorant, but because I'm full of life.
Yeah.
I care what my children think.
You see how I save money with without a therapist? I just brought you in, dog.
No, I'm serious, dog. Listen,
Yeah,
dog,
it's true.
the more you pay attention to the outside chaos and the more you pay attention to other people's opinions, the more that you are willingly getting a shovel and grabbing shit and putting it in your lawn.
That's crazy. It's true.
The less, look, dog, expectancy determines outcomes.
Yeah.
When you're not attached to the outcome is guaranteed. When you're worried and you want and you desire, you're building a wall without even realizing it, dog.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what people think about me. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that in a way where I don't have to worry about it because I don't carry myself like a bozo. I don't go around lying. I don't go around talking about things that are not real. I don't go around pretending. I don't go around pretending to be somebody I'm not. What you see is what you get. And what you saw then is what you got.
Yeah.
What you saw when I was a womanizing, alcoholic, barbaric animal, that's what you got. What you see now, that's what you get.
That's what we're celebrating, my brother.
You know,
We're
dog,
celebrating
and
that.
my objective is to continue to earn my evolution.
Mr. Little One, I know I'm taking a lot of your time.
No,
but
no, you're good.
On this, check this out, man. How do we reach the youth? Right now, the youth is paying attention to us. We have these great shows, these festivals. We have lowrider shows, and I'm looking at these teenagers. They're embracing the culture. They're loving it. Everywhere I go, I'm looking at kids from 12 to 18. You know, the top people that purchase music and get influence from music. It's like I think it's 16 to 25. That's the age bracket, right? And once they go into college, how do we reach them with this wisdom that you have to bring to them?
You continue to do what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you'll stop overthinking.
Yeah. No books in the works, my brother?
No, not like that.
Okay.
No. I'm not ready.
listening.
I'm not ready for that yet.
Okay.
And the reason why I say I'm not ready for that yet is because I'm still very young in the world of where we all say we want to be.
Yeah.
And we have to be open and accepting to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, I'm still earning my evolution.
Yeah.
I still have a long way to go.
That's true. That's true. But when I talk to you, I want to the words that we have. Man, how could I write that or touch somebody that's in from a elementary standpoint, like a book that they might be able to pick up and understand and open.
Oh, okay.
You
My
know, like-
apologize.
like, no worries. I got you.
What I understood was how do we reach them? I thought that's what you were asking.
Oh, my bad. No,
So-
I know
so-
they're out there.
So
Yeah.
what I say is we can only continue to do what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my advice, or what I would encourage someone to do. I grew up just like you in the jungle,
Yeah.
in the hood,
Yeah.
raised by killers. Now, I always believed I was so much more.
I know what you're saying, brother.
I always
I know it.
believed.
Yeah.
I have a homie, I won't say his name. And when we were at Garfield High, he used to tell me, one day we're going to be walking the yard like this.
Mm.
And I used to tell him, Caesar, make sure you make a clip out of this. I'd be like, motherfucker, you're going to be walking the yard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be on stage rocking shows. So what I would encourage a young person to do is listen to your voice. Diminish your fears. Maximize your faith.
Yeah.
Embrace the power of your magnitude. The 4 agreements,
Yep.
inner
Yep.
engineering, the untethered soul, seat of the soul, deep liberation. There are books after books after books that give you different analogies and perspectives, from riding a bike to metamorphosis to a cocoon to a butterfly to the clouds to a tree.
This will not be given to them in the schools.
You got to remember, bro, what you're saying is so true. The schools don't want you to know all this.
No.
The schools want you to stay in a robotic system where they're always going to be in control.
Yeah.
All right, dog? The government wants you to live to a certain age. They want you to start declining at this age so you can get this health program, this medication until you die. Next.
That's crazy. Next.
And then it's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
So I this is how I live my life.
Yeah.
I do the opposite that everybody else does.
Yeah, man. And it's working, man, because I'm all ears when you speak, and I love learning. And you know, you get information from different spots. You showed me through an interview. Shouts out to ODM, the 4 Agreements. And I bought that book for my friend. And yesterday I saw a 16-year-old where I was at. My son is 16 years old, and I speak to him. And this 16-year-old doesn't have that, right? And now in my head, I'm reading this book, and I'm like, how, like, they're the teenagers. They're getting pulled. Oh, you're binary this or you're that. You feel this, you feel that, and they're being kind of groomed in a way because it gets pushed to them. And I don't think we do enough to push them the right stuff. Which, well, like, wait a minute, hold on, time out. Before you make us accept all this. Read a book like the 4 Agreements, where it's like, what was the one that when they're in an island and all the little kids, they're in an island and the Lord of the Flies type of stuff. And that was like, okay, that was like the only book that everything else was just curriculum they were pushing their agenda. And I wish they would have something like the 4 Agreements, and it's somewhere where somebody my age at that time could understand in that wording. And hopefully it's like an introduction to this, before they get into universities.
Well, it's our job.
Yeah.
It's our job to continue to do what we're saying. Like, the universe symmetrically put us here today. Symmetrically. Like, remember, Doc, everything is symmetrics. Things have to happen the way that they happen. I've always learned that there are certain people that can do certain things, but certain things have to be done a certain way. Symmetrics.
That's crazy. You ever listen to TED Talks? Okay. I'm going to shoot it your way. And there's these corporations that hire people to come in and talk to them and open up like different ways, strategies of leadership, successful leadership, all the books. And these are people with Harvard educations, different educational. And we're right here, brother. We're speaking the same language.
Right.
And we have that hood. We grew up in the ghetto, and we're like, okay, this is not where I want to stay at, but I'd love to make this thing more beautiful for everybody else.
Let me say something about that. I've seen other cultures that been through despair, that use their story, and they go speak, and they've become very wealthy.
Yeah.
Doing that. One of the things that I've hold close to me is I don't chase that. I won't chase that. I'll let what's supposed to happen the way it's going to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know that how the world works. I know we all need, to have some type of, income coming so we can keep moving.
Yeah.
But I do believe that when you dissolve the want, you open up the gates for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that perspective is everything. You know what I mean? I promise you, keep doing what you're doing and show your growth, and your growth will show you.
Man, I would love to see you on those podiums, though, brother. I'm not gonna lie. I want you to. I want people to see.
And you know what? And maybe it'll happen.
I think it will.
I think and maybe it'll,
brother. I'm telling you.
And maybe it'll happen.
It reached a kid from Santana.
No
this
doubt.
kid in front of you, brother. I promise you, man.
I appreciate you, big dog.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. But speaking on appreciation, the music, the culture, September 9th, 2023, Craig Ranch Regional Park. Yeah. Man, we got the Chicano Music Fest. And man, you got a lineup right here, man. Just a few. We got Tierra.
Yeah.
Richard Bean of Malo.
Yeah.
The Delphonics, the Midnighters.
Delphonics still rocking it, huh?
Hey, man. Sly, Slick, and Wicked, Mary Jane Girls at Chicano, Joey Quinones,
Yeah,
Quinones,
Quiñones.
Conejo, Legendary, Mr. Shadow. Man, you know what? Somebody at one of the places where I was at, they went to go see you. It was you, Conejo, and Mr. Shadow, Reverie, Clica One, and then many more, right? Oh, who else we got performing over there, my brother? Miss Crazy,
Yeah, I invited Malo Mac
Malo
to
Mac.
come up.
Hopefully he slows through. Coyote.
Yeah, Coyote is dope.
Man,
You know, those brothers are sick with it, man. You know, shout out to Coyote and shout out to anybody out there representing with all their heart, dog.
Yeah.
And that's what you do, my brother. Like,
Appreciate it.
understand you are what you are because you do it with all your heart. And I believe that everybody in this room does what they do with all their heart. When you were saying that he was a historian, and this, it's just that's not it. It's just that he does that with all his heart.
Yeah.
And he appreciates that.
My brother.
And he loves that. And you do what you do with all your heart. And Caesar does what he does with all his heart. And that's why everything in here feels like it's pure heart.
And when people come in here, Uno, they leave with it too. That's the one thing they always say.
1,000,000%.
Hey man, I fucking went in there. I felt like I could kick it all day. I'm like,
1,000,000%, dog. Everybody performs better, dog, when you feel safe. When you feel home.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Hey, my brother, tell me about the show, man. Plug it in, September 9th, Craig Ranch. How did it come about? I know you wanted to do something for the raza, and tell me how where that stemmed from.
All right. First, I'm going to tell you the traditional barrier that I went through.
Traditional barrier.
You know,
Pues.
that ain't going to happen. You're not going to be able to do that. How are you going to get all those people together? Where are you going to do that? No way. And, like I told you, I was like, I'm not going to, I'm going to let my actions speak for me. But when I was growing up, I would see them do festivals at school. I would see them bring Aztec dancers and mariachis and singers and shit like that. And I'd be like, this is beautiful. Then it stopped. I'd be like, well, where is it?
Yeah.
Never in my life, when I was doing my thing, was I conscious enough to understand the magnitude of what was happening, because I fell into the spell of smoke and mirrors and, and validation and wealth and success. And, all that comes with believing you're something you're not when you get fame. We're not supposed to be aroused by applause, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not.
They chase it. I know.
So anyway, long story short, bro, as I've grown in my evolution, as I've grown in my journey, then I'm tapping into the things that are close to my soul, the things that are close to my spirit. So the things that are close to my spirit is the things that brought me joy, brought me peace when I was a child, which is those moments of the cultural elements that I grew up admiring so much.
And we need that.
So now that God has put me in this position, I'm ready to do that.
It's a beautiful thing.
I couldn't do that if I was still drinking and barbaric and again, that's just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
Yeah.
I have to do it with all my heart. So when I decided to do the first one, and I was, I talked about it for a long time.
Yeah. The one in San Diego?
Yeah. I talked about it for a long time. I was earning my evolution. So when it happened, I was ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it just magically ended up happening in San Diego because I was initially trying to do it in Ventura.
Yeah, I remember seeing about it.
Yeah, like I wanted to do it in Ventura because of the surrounding markets. I always thought, here's Camarillo, here's, Santa Ana, here's Los Angeles, here's San Diego, here's Riverside, here's, Santa Barbara. So all the markets would come. But it just kind of ended up happening the way that it happened because these are the universal symmetrics that I'm telling you about.
Man.
So anyway, I ended up making it happen. And I didn't want to get the traditional artists that you see at the lowrider shows that are burnt out, that you've seen 10 million times. I wanted to give my brother Shadow, my brother Conejo, my sister Miss Crazy, my boy Dominator a chance to come and have a platform to do what they do because they're fucking dope.
That's what's up, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I believe that nobody had ever done a festival with the Latino oldie element, being Tierra Malo, the Midnighters, with the Delphonics.
Yeah, Norman Carter.
The Delphonics. You know, and this one I got Sly Slick and the Wicked. I got the Mary Jane Girls, you know, along with the hip hop element.
Yeah.
So you get them together and then you bring the Aztec dancers and you bring mariachis and you bring live art and you bring lowriders and you bring an all ages element to a setting that's like a park.
Yeah.
Then you have an experience. So if you can leave, like you said, with an experience, you're always going to go back. And I'm not playing when I tell you that I'm not going to die until I'm past 100 years old.
Let's go.
I'm not going to stop doing this.
Man.
I'm going to do this all over the country. Right now, it's June 2023.
Yes.
So we only got 2 in the books right now.
Yeah.
In a year, we'll have 5 in the books. In 2 years, we'll have 8 in the books. In 3 years, we'll have 10, and so on and so on and so on. But I promise you, this is not going to stop. I'm going to do this all over the country. I'm going to unite the people. I'm going to bring love to the people. I'm going to bring bliss in the present moment and an experience to our people all over the world.
Man, I can't wait. What was after the San Diego one? Obviously, it was great. We got Vegas coming up, but what were people telling you? Like when they were saying, "Hey, thank you for having this." What were they telling you? Because I know this was pre. It was at the other ones you wanted to do were pre-COVID, right? Because of COVID,
it just didn't happen.
It just never happened.
Remember that, but that was the want. I wanted it so bad that the want within itself created a barrier in between that experience. When I let go of it and I'm like, cool, whenever it's time, it landed on my lap.
I love it that you recognize that, man.
It just landed on my lap.
You see me smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You see me smiling. It's because that's the universe, man.
1,000,000%. The universe symmetrically put it where it was supposed to be.
Man.
You know, dog, and the challenges that you get in making these festivals, dog, like they're meant to make you stronger. They're meant to make you grow.
It's a family.
Yeah, dog. And you know, event. Dog, like, you know, that's why it's important to me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I say, like, I did the San Diego one March 18th. I announced the Vegas one April 18th.
Wow.
So within a month,
you're like, let's go.
I put that together. You know, look at this, dog, and this is real.
September 9th.
There needs to be a clip about this. No one has the courage to use the word Mexican, the word raza, the word Chicano attached to their festivals. Instead, they use taco or tamales or michelada, but they won't use the actual culture itself.
Yeah.
See, with the word Chicano, we're representation.
Yeah.
We won't lose. With the word music, you won't lose.
Nah.
With what a true festival represents, you won't lose. So Chicano Music Festival will never lose.
Nah, man.
Ever.
It's so symbolic to us, man. It's part of our culture. It's from start to finish, like from families to generations. And we're representing generations right here with Malo, Delphonics, Sisek, and Wicked.
1,000,000%.
You know, Conejo, yourself, Mr. Shadow. Man, it's gonna be great, and it's all ages. And for somebody to experience that as their family, because I know if my mom was listening to Malo and she's in the kitchen and she's doing stuff, and I'm like, oh damn, hell yeah, that's something that we have in common. With my mom, you know?
I mean, dog, I listened to every single one of those acts growing up.
Yeah.
So to be able to be on this stage, and you know, and again, man, like just being honest with you, it's never been about wanting me to be the person. I just want somebody to do so. I've learned that in this world, why not you?
Yeah.
Why the fuck not you? Why do you have to wait for someone else to do it? Why don't you get up and do it?
Get it done.
If not fucking today, then when?
Yeah. Hey, you know what I love? I'm looking at the flyer right now. I'm seeing the lowriders, and I'm seeing Vegas on the license plate. On the last one, I saw how you got created. On some of them, I saw some like a zip code on them, and I was like breaking deciphering them. But you're doing it right. You're setting it up. I don't see your face plastered on everything.
Nope.
And that's where I see a lot of people fail. I'm like, oh, este vato, güey. No mames, güey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you want to put your face on everything? Hey, fool.
Yeah.
Tone it down a bit, fool.
And if you also notice, I didn't make up a company to put presents. I'm going to let Chicano Music Festival be what it is.
It's going to be, trust me, man.
That's it.
Trust me,
You know
man.
what I'm saying,
I love
bro?
it.
And the only reason why I got on stage in San Diego was to give my brother Shadow that love, and we did Excited together.
Man, I'm
and,
so
and,
excited.
And me and Shadow and my brother Conejo got on stage, and we did some of the untouchable ones. But in Vegas, bro, like, I'm just going to be chilling in the back.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be watching it like everybody else. And that's what I'm going to continue to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to continue to do that. All the other little shows that we do, that's just fun and passion. But the festivals, like, bro, like, I am never going to stop doing that with all of my heart. And Phoenix, we're coming. Tucson, we're coming. Salt Lake, we're coming. Boise, Albuquerque, Farmington, Salt Lake City, Oklahoma. You name it. Chicago, New York, everywhere.
Chicanos are everywhere.
We're coming.
Hey, man, we get a lot of love from Topeka, Kansas. I was looking at our stuff, our ratings. Canada, you know what time they have to listen to us to be hearing us in Canada? And Kansas is like 2 hours away. So right now it's 8:00. So over there it's 10:15.
Wow, yeah. See, that's love. That's love, dog. People are listening to you. People are paying attention to what you're doing, dog. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I know we're kind of pressed for time. But any shouts out, my brother, before I'm gonna have Cookser jump in the mix while we say our thank you for coming through.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to you and everybody in this room. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having this conversation. I want to do it again if it's okay.
Yes.
And do the full 2 hours.
Yeah.
Man, I got the fan band with me. My little baby's been sick. We all been 100 miles this past few weeks. So we're going to go get some relaxed time in San Diego and kind of chill out. And, we got a busy July. We got a busy August. And, the festival in September. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody in this room. I appreciate you giving me love and giving me an opportunity to come in here and just share a little bit of where I'm at in my life.
ChicanoMusicFest.com. Get your tickets, get your spots over there. Where you guys want to stay at over there on the weekend, man. It's going to be dope. September 9th, Craig Ranch Regional Park.
And I'm extending an invitation to everybody here to come on out on me, all right? So make sure you come through.
Come on, dog. Stop playing, man.
I'm not playing.
We recording this.
Everybody come on out, bro, on me. You all got full access passes. Just come up and just be part of it.
Cookser, you got to work on that permit.
Yep, I gotta hit that Vegas pass.
Mr. Lil One, we're gonna jump in the mix, and we're gonna play us actually the Chicano Music Fest on the mix. We're gonna throw in a little bit of all the artists.
Oh, no
and
doubt.
We're gonna do it again when you come again. I know we're a little bit pressed for time today, but it's gonna be our treat to play some of your music and the people that are gonna be performing at the Chicano Music Fest. So get your tickets. Chicano Music Fest. Cookser's gonna jump on the turntables right now. And thanks to Mr. Lil One, San Diego, OC, stand up. Come on.
Let's go. Appreciate you.